web design 100% should be for graphic design.
It totally should.
We control brand identity, right? We create logos. We create, their magazine ads, their brochures, right? Their brand identities.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is an extension of what a graphic designer does. You're listening to the Angry Designer Podcast, where we help frustrated graphic designers crush all the industry BS and learn what it takes to charge what you're worth and build badass, rewarding careers. In this episode, we're going to explore why websites should have always been a graphic designer's responsibility and why they're finally coming back to where they belong. You're going to learn about the surprising reasons why graphic designers historically avoided web design and how that's changing. You're going to learn about how no-code platforms like Wix Studio are revolutionizing the way designers can build high-end, fully customized, and interactive sites. And you're going to learn about the 3 simple steps every designer can take today to seamlessly integrate web design into your business services. So whether you're sipping on your favorite drink, sitting at your desk, sitting on a dock, or on your deck, or hitting the road, stick with us because this episode is packed with game-changing insights that's going to elevate your design career. Cheers!
Cheers!
Cheers,
Salud,
my friend!
salud.
Salud.
Wow.
So we are drinking Gold Bar. We still have lots of gold left.
Gold bar.
Gold Bar left. Actually, I don't mind this stuff.
I like gold. Yeah, it's good. The second time around.
It is harsh.
It hits hard first.
But it's it looks great walking in with this bad boy, but it is a really hard. It's not for the you have to be into this. I don't know if I'd recommend this as your first whiskey.
Nope,
ever.
I would not. I would not take that as the first whiskey.
However, since this is my first, you really kind of cheaped out on my pour, buddy. What did you do? Jeez, we're just starting the episode and I'm already done. Fuck. Hey, there we go.
I'm trying to be responsible.
Okay, now I think we should cheers again.
Okay,
Cheers.
let's cheers
there we
again.
go.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
There, the second shot is much better.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good, right?
Pretty good.
So, I have a wussy confession to make. I subscribed to House and Home magazine.
Now, why would you just say Jen does that?
I can't. You know why? Because you're gonna. I really should have, right? I should have thrown. Damn it! Why shouldn't I say? I wish it was something cooler.
Yes,
but it genuinely was. Yeah, it was me. I mean, it's. But you know what was cool, and I wasn't expecting to do this. Okay,
classic web magazine.
Well, I know, right? I mean, okay, and I mean, my home does lack luster, but the office is good. The house is not so good. I got 4 kids. It's just why bother trying?
I know, yeah.
But the reason why I subscribed is so they sent me a demo copy, and I was like, holy shit! I sign me up for 2 more years.
Oh,
okay,
wow.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
I started. It's been I forgot how long it's been since I flipped through a magazine.
See,
right? It was flipping through it, and the part that got me was I forgot my affinity for layout. Okay, which again, some of my most awesome memories, growing up in this space, right, was before all this crazy digital world and the pace that we live in right now. You remember, and I've said this story before, you would go to there's a few places that would have giant racks of magazines, right? Up here it was Chapters, Indigo for a little while, and we're talking we're talking thousands of magazines, okay? And you would just flip from magazine to, and the cool thing about magazines, which I think is missing right now, is you wouldn't open it up looking for logos.
No.
It's not that you were looking and hunting for logos like it feels like we do now online.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
You were amazed at all the ads, the layouts, right? And then I started digging up old skateboarding magazines, right? I started going down this rabbit hole and I was like blown away. I was like, oh, fuck, I remember that layout. I remember that intensity, right? It felt like this is where the roots of graphic design came from, right? Like the shit that, I found an old Ray Gun magazine, that had David Carson shit. And again, layout. I wasn't even looking for logos through this, okay? So this is where House and Home took me because it took me down this road, this nostalgic road of like how much I miss good layout and design.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I mean, you came from that space.
Totally.
But it wasn't good layout.
It
where he
wasn't
came
good
from.
layout. It was a necessity.
Yeah. It was.
But you did kind of have to hone your craft at that. It was tough to do that. And
you mastered grids in no time.
Grids in no time,
shit,
yeah.
Right?
And we did have a magazine that we worked on.
That's
too,
right.
So,
Absolutely.
So that was kind of fun. We did get to stretch out a little bit. But yes,
it was
you're
so
right.
fun. And again, if you want to see what a designer's truly capable, right? See what what their layout design skills are like, right? You look at the early stuff. Yeah, we go on about, a couple of the logos Massimo Vignelli did, a couple of the logos that Paul Rand did. But then when you really start dissecting some of the masters, you look at their layouts, their poster designs.
Yes.
Early century layout and poster designs.
Yes.
Right? And I miss that.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that opportunity anymore.
Yes.
And what happened is, so obviously we would go through all these magazines, and I encourage anybody out there, everybody, to go to some of your old bookstores, look for old magazines of whatever, and just see what the old ads were like and the layouts of the mag. Because again, it was so inspiring, and it was the best part to look at cool fucking ads.
Yes,
and even this House and Home had some pretty cool ads in it.
Yeah, I mean it's a quality magazine.
It was decent, right?
Yeah.
So the sad part was though, right? And I remember, and I lived through this, which was really sad. So we went through, at Indigo, there was like 12 banks. Both sides of magazines, if you can believe that. So there's thousands of magazines, whatever you wanted on, it was there.
Yeah.
And then web started getting popular. Okay. And what happened is then it went from 12 banks to 10 banks to 8 to 6. In the end, there was 4 double-sided banks of magazines.
Yeah.
Like it went to a third of what it was.
Well, in the end, chapters went.
Yeah, well, really, right?
It really didn't do well. I mean,
well, now it's Indigo, and now it's kind of like a little bit of everything.
But there were a bunch of chapters around.
It was
yeah,
great,
and
right?
You're right. It was all kinds of great magazines and all kinds of great books, stuff like that.
So web came in, right? And web came in, and the thing is, we were hopeful that web maybe would, and this is why I never understood why web took over magazines, because the layout of web sucked. And if you remember with the early 2000s, even mid 2000s, even up until 2010, websites on a whole sucked.
Yeah.
The layouts were gross.
Yep.
It was hard to get creative. There was no good design in websites, really.
It was clear that designers weren't designing websites.
Right. But, and the thing is, and so magazines did make a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
And they are now. Magazines are here and now. But the thing is, and it's good, and some graphic designers have gone back.
Yes. We'll always have an affinity for the
absolutely.
For the handheld.
But what's funny is most graphic designers didn't jump onto web. So they kind of lost that art form of layout. Okay. And I mean, for obvious reasons, web, really web sucks for the most part. Well, it did suck for the most part. It did suck, right? Because again, it's like, okay, web design 100% should be for graphic design.
It totally should.
We control brand identity, right? We create logos. We create, their magazine ads, their brochures, right? Their brand identities. Like this is an extension of what a graphic designer does, because a website is totally functional and it's interactive.
Yep.
Right? Like this is the best part of what a graphic designer can offer to somebody,
Yeah.
But it isn't.
Yes.
And it wasn't. It hasn't been, okay? And this is the problem all these years. It fell wayside. And for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It started off, like I said, really shitty. No graphic designer wanted to touch that shit.
Nope.
Right? In all fairness, when graphic designers tried to do websites, okay. And again, I remember early days for us, I was just really stubborn. But, I would create an ad and I would give it to the developer and he's like, I can't design this. And I'm like, well, figure it out. He's like, well, this is a magazine site. And I'm like, yeah, it is a magazine site because I want good layout.
Yeah.
Right. And there was always this struggle, right? Because they couldn't
wrap their heads around that.
And nor could they even see it, even if you then followed their rules and no, we need a header at the top. Okay, here's a header. Here's fonts. Then they would give you back and they would have fonts of different sizes, logos different sizes. Yes. I didn't like the way that was, so I did this. And I was just like, no. So this is where, it pissed off a lot of designers, okay, going through this, right? Like, I mean, there was so many barriers that designers had to face, right? And this was just, like we were always limited in what we could do. And then not to mention the technical barriers, okay? So, right, okay, so number one, coding. Okay, if you wanted to do it yourself, and you wanted that site to look like the way you had to learn how to code. Let's face it, designers were not learning how to code because early on that code was not designer friendly.
It was hard.
It was hard, right? Hosting. Yeah. Well, that's a whole fucking industry that GoDaddy made a gazillion dollars from is where, and it's not very straightforward. Like, yeah, it has to live somewhere, but in order to get a website on there, well, that wasn't a really easy process for most people. Once you do it 10 times, it's a no-brainer. If you understand the whole web stratosphere, then sure, it works. But it's not something that comes natural to designers when we're very visual and we just want to design and get things going, right? Then there's the maintenance issues, okay, of then keeping that hosting thing updated, keeping your server updated, keeping your platform updated, right? Another layer of complexity, right? Always a disconnect between designers and the builders. Like this 100%, right? Okay. We spoke two different languages, no matter what. Near the end, past 10 years, maybe better, but at the beginning, forget it. Okay. Limited fonts. Okay. Limited layout options. Like there was so many layers of complexity that there's no wonder that it just kind of fell wayside from design and designers didn't want to have anything to do with it. And what we ended up was a web full of really boring, flat, structured, sites. Like gone are the beautiful layouts of magazine that could easily have been translated. Right. Totally. And that's a skill set that we have. So it never made it there, unfortunately, right? Like it was just, oh, dude, it was really horrible.
We could have used, what we could have used is a couple more of our boy Lucho over there with that design sensibility and that technical savvy.
Yeah, that's right. So again, what I mean? And so our front end developer here at Z Factor was a designer and he wanted to make the crossover. But I kept on telling him like, dude, no problem, but don't fully cross to the dark side. And I warned him, I'm like, don't start thinking like a programmer. You got to remember your roots. And the funny thing is, dude, He did. He started thinking like a designer. I was like, no, dude, remember where you get. And I still do this. And I'm like, yeah, the client wants this. And he's like, oh, really? They want. I'm like, dude.
Hey, what did I tell you?
You know this is going to happen. Like, remember, you're still a designer. Oh, that is amazing, though.
That's funny.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
All right, designers, let's cut the bull. How many times have you had a killer website designed only to watch it fall apart because of code or developer telling you no? Or maybe you've held back from web design altogether thinking it's just too complicated and too technical or totally out of your wheelhouse. Either way, it's time for a change. Wix Studio is designed for designers, removing the barriers that limits your designs. Whether you're tired of developers watering down your ideas or too intimidated by the technical side of web, Wix Studio puts the creative power back in your hands. No code required. With a drag and drop interface that feels designer intuitive, plus no code animations and even AI powered tools, you can create fully custom websites that match your vision. Every pixel, every detail. And if you're worried about the learning curve, don't be. Wix Studio is designed to feel as intuitive as your favorite design tools. Some designers here even say more so. That means you can jump right in and focus on what you do best, designing badass, brand-aligned websites that'll take your business to the next level. So whether you've had enough of developers holding you back or you're ready to finally step into web design, check out wixstudio.com and take control. That's wixstudio.com. Go and take back web design for graphic designers. This is why, I guess designers kind of parted ways with web, which sucks because again, for all intents and purposes, those two worlds should absolutely live together. Yeah. And then along comes something like WordPress, which was supposed to be the savior for everybody. Okay. But WordPress just made everything. And again, I know there's some people who love WordPress out there. I don't quite know why, but it gave the illusion that designers could do what they want, right? but I mean, the interface sucked. Plugin hell.
Ooh.
Okay, trying to keep that shit like up to date. It was, I unfortunately, I we have a WordPress site under our repertoire, unfortunately, and I'm not going to admit to what it is. It makes me really sad. But the thing is, it's like it made designers think that they could do what they wanted with themes and templates and this and that, but it always gave handcuffs and really fucked us over when it came to hosting. If you missed somebody's, a plugin update, your whole site would go down. Yeah. If you didn't update it or you're open to security issues. Oh God, security issues is another headache why people didn't want to.
One thing on its own.
Jeez. So again, WordPress was another thing that was that kind of gave the illusion. But again, so all these obstacles kept making designers fall further and further away from that, which sucks. Okay. But the thing is, with all this new technology, we always keep saying, AI is all this technology is coming, right? And it's going to come for our jobs and shit, right? This is one area that I don't think designers are gravitating enough towards. Yeah. Okay. And, I don't think, again, while there are AI tools, which we've talked about, that we're trying to build websites from scratch, the reality is people still need designers to build those sites. Yes. I don't think AI will ever get to a place where it can blindly create something for a client.
No.
Okay. So it still needs to be led by somebody. So why not a designer again? And that's the part that I keep saying. Like, I mean, again, it's let's face it. It's like, clients want designers to take care of their website. Okay. Yeah. There's no question about that, in my opinion. This is, face it, like the clients always look for a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that sounds really, kind of like undervaluing what we do, but a client hates going from one person for one thing, one person for another, and it's just kind of like they got better things to do with their time than that.
Yes. It's like the Navy SEALs land and expand model, right? You got one guy who's just so good at all of that stuff.
That's right. That's right. It's also the Z Factor model, just so you guys know. But it's true. I mean, clients want one contact for this kind of stuff. And the thing is, you are in charge of that brand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Technically, it's your job.
Better. Yeah.
So if you can offer that web experience, you can offer better brand alignment for the company.
Yeah.
Okay. Your creative can be aligned. The vision can be consistent in the same direction. It's like a no-brainer. Okay. So clients want this, but unfortunately, our apprehensions of getting here are literally there's this intimidation factor that people are just like, no. I don't want this. So that's the concern, okay? Yeah. And again, granted, there have been some cool developments, that we've talked about in the past. Like there are no-code platforms out there that you don't need code to design for, but they kind of feel like a hybrid between code and WordPress.
Yes.
Because they're very template-driven. Yes. And, like what we always say is you can't follow templates. You can't do this shit, right? They allow you a little bit more flexibility that you don't need to know code, but they definitely don't fucking feel like a design tool. And I think that's also another thing that is kind of found defeating up until now, which I feel kind of good about, right? Because we have a partner now, Wix Studio, okay, who, I saw what they had, and it's like a game changer for designers because it is a no-code platform, but it's a no-code platform that feels like it was built for designers.
Yes.
Right? Like it doesn't feel like this template-driven, no. If you want to put a header, you can only do this or this or
These
this.
3 options and that's
right?
it. Yeah.
It's not like that at all. Like, it's hard to explain the differences in the sense of, no, nothing. All you got to do is check out the inspiration sites on Wix Studio and you'll see the shit's just completely out there. It looks like some of the sites have got full animation, like an Apple website, right? Yep. We're talking parallax, we're talking like amazing drop downs, interactive elements, okay? And you don't need to know any code for any of this shit, right? Nothing. It feels like something that we already work with. That makes a lot more sense, which is why I think I swear the thing was built for scratch, but literally for designers, not for coders, and not for the rest of the world. And that's the difference. because a lot of these other platforms out there, they build these platforms, but they build them for everybody. So they're really dumbed down.
Yes.
This one feels like it was built with designers in mind, right? And I mean, I think that's because obviously it eliminates all the shit that we hate. Like it takes care of the hosting, it takes care of like the security part and all that, right? But it allows you this really, again, it feels like one of the design tools that we deal with on a regular basis, right? You don't need any coding for this, right? And just the sky's the limit. Like when you look at like their inspiration sites, they actually look like well-designed ads.
Yes.
They look like well-designed shit that I've seen in the 80s. And they look so current, so hip. They don't look like they're like a
slapdash template
right.
kind of thing put
and that's
together.
it, right? When you see like WordPress templates or you see some of these other sites out there,
they're clearly not designed by a designer.
It's like here, coffee shop, Joe's coffee shop. And he's just like, imagine this is your coffee shop. It's just like, no. But on this platform, if you go in there, they look cool. Like it's just, they look like magazine layouts, right?
Yeah.
They definitely don't look like they're trying to, they know who their market is, which is really damn cool.
Exactly. Like, you're right. The inspiration part of it is like, you look at that stuff and there's thought involved in this.
Yes.
Like somebody knows what they're doing.
And the nice thing
beautiful
is
stuff.
This brings layout back into a graphic designer. It brings power back to us in that sense, right? And that's the key, I think. I think that's why I'm so drawn to this, because it's like, it feels like it was intentionally built, to bring layout back to design, but online. Like this is kind of like what I feel the rest of the world's always been missing, because honestly, man, the web lately has been so fucking boring.
It has, yes.
Like everything looks the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
so we definitely need to get back into that arena.
I think so.
Layout,
and it's funny because it's like so we had an Angry Designer I met up with a couple weeks ago, and I mean the guy's got awesome poster work, right? I keep seeing his stuff. I'm like, dude, this fucking rocks, right? So I like convinced him to print me out some. I said, I want the first of these. Before you hit it big, I want them. I want you to sign them. I want to put them on a wall,
nice.
Right? And I can't wait for it, right? And then it's just like, well, your site's down. It's like, well, recently I lost my website, due to whatever ability. So I'll get to it. And I'm like, dude, you can't have a business without this fucking site.
Yes.
It's like, but then I'll have to go get another developer. And I'm like, no, I'm like, check out this place, check out this Wix Studio, right?
Yeah.
You get in there and, you can build something.
Yourself.
And, I don't have time to do a full website. I'm like, dude, you don't need a full website. Just a landing page.
Yeah.
Start small.
Yes.
One landing page.
Yes.
Right. And sure enough, I saw a post from him like earlier this week and he's already on it. And he's like, he told me I got to do it. It's like 2 weeks. You got to give me at least a landing page in 2 weeks. And the guy's already half done.
No.
Like it looks fantastic, right? Because you can't function without.
Yeah.
But again, he thought that he was handcuffed because he'd lost access to his developer, like to the extent that he had anyway. And so now it was to a point where it was like, he's got the power to do this again, which is great, because now by the time he gets his landing page up, and then if he ever gets his site built up, he's going to have this new skill, which is incredible. So, I mean, this is huge for him, for designers in general, I think. And the thing is, there's even AI built into their platform, into right? Into the Wix Studio platform, and it can even come up with headlines for you and body copy and shit.
The whole works.
I still feel kind of weird about that at times, but this is the way.
Well, I mean, it's like anything else.
You know what? You're right.
You have it in there. You could tweak it if it doesn't work. It's got options.
It's like chat, I guess it would be, right?
Like chat,
and I mean, lo and behold, I use that for our headline options all the time.
But you tweak it. You don't always
absolutely. I do.
So
I don't think I've ever.
You have the option to do that, which
that's really good.
Is very cool.
Yeah, it's just nice that this is the way that the future is going, right? But again, a platform like this does solve all the problems that the designers had. But the one problem it doesn't solve is designers still being apprehensive to try something new.
Yes.
And this is what we talk about. We're constantly going on about the future of a designer is only limited by their ability to adapt and evolve.
Exactly.
Okay. So as I was going through the whole reigns of Z Factor throughout all those years, right? I remember the web coming in. I remember a lot of design shops didn't want to take it. They're like, no, we're not adapting to digital. We're not adapting to web. And how many of them shut down? One,
after the other, after the other. It's funny because I went from this list of like 34 competitors and it was just like, where'd they all fucking go?
Exactly.
Because they didn't want to adapt and evolve. And whether they thought that they were in it too old or that it was just a phase or whatever, dude, they died.
Yeah.
They absolutely died. So
They're
this
out of
is
the game. Yeah.
exactly. So I mean, again, graphic designers cannot have that mentality.
No.
Like this will do nothing but just kill your journey as a designer,
Yeah.
which is why it sucks, right? In my opinion, the hybrid designer is the future of graphic designer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what I mean by that is a designer who can take their craft offline, put it online, make it digital,
Yep.
offer print. This is what the future is going to be, because if you know these designers don't do that, okay, platforms will.
Yeah.
Okay. We always talk about not letting AI replace us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, if you don't do something about this and you don't start upgrading yourself, then AI will. You're opening the door up to technology to come in and just steamroll you.
Yep. Yep.
And the funny thing is, it's like it doesn't even have to be AI that's going to replace you, right? And we say, oh, well, then it's going to be a designer using AI that's going to replace you. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
It's going to be a designer who adapts to new technology.
There you go.
Okay, so
Yeah.
again, I know a lot of designers that don't want to do web. If a designer was to take this Wix Studio and start embracing this into their platform and be like, hey, I'm going to offer, these websites plus design services plus this plus that, they're going to replace a designer who just offers brand identity work.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
That is good because again, customers need that one-stop shop. They want that.
Yeah.
They're asking for it.
Yes.
So again, you're going to lose out to somebody who will give that.
Yeah.
Truth be told, we got a lot of customers that way. Okay. We've had many opportunities. We were called in to fix a website. They had a designer doing everything else. They loved the fact that we were able to do the website. Then it's like that other designer, they were late on a project. They weren't able to deliver. And it's like, oh, don't worry. We'll take care of that for you,
we
right?
got it. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. We'll take care of that. So while the other designer is like, missing out on dates and calling in late, we're showing up with flowers and chocolate every fucking day. And we wooed them.
Yeah.
It's legit.
Maybe.
So this is huge for designers for both, professionally and personally, in my opinion,
Yep.
right?
Totally.
Professionally, it's a no-brainer.
Yep.
Okay. You got this for your clients. Clients want this. You don't need to learn code anymore, right? Using platforms like this.
The fear element that
Gone.
most designers, myself included, when
Yep.
I was fucking around with web.
And I remember because
scared
you were
it scared the hell out of me, but it was exciting.
Yes.
But this just has the excitement in it.
Yes.
There's none of the fear. It's like
know.
I was looking at the tutorials and I'm like, this I can do.
All right.
I love this.
And that's exactly it, right? And again, and the big thing is from a professional levels, it now gives us the opportunity to expand our services with, I don't want to say no effort, but little effort. We already have the design chops.
Yes.
This is what designers don't realize. All web programmers have is the programming side. They don't have the
I
design.
don't have the design.
Okay. And sadly, customers don't care as much about the programming. They only care about what they see.
Yeah.
So what we can offer them is the whole front end, the visual side, and the whole back end is like built out by platforms like this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's on the professional level, but on a personal front, designers can now start exploring layouts again. Okay. If you want to test your design abilities, start exploring layouts. Learn your fucking grids, okay? Learn like the rule of thirds, figure out the Fibonacci curve for fuck's sakes, right? But the thing is, it is a whole new level of excitement into your platform. You're not just doing like a little layout for a ticket or like a little flyer. We're talking about like you have now all this exploration that you can do online. And I mean, imagine how graphic designers can change the landscape of the web right now.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's not very exciting anymore, the web.
Yeah. No, it's not. You're
I
right.
don't surf at all anymore.
Yeah.
At all. I do not surf the web. I use chat for my information.
Yep.
I go to YouTube for more entertainment.
Entertainment, yeah.
But I remember in the old days, I would just surf websites. I would surf. They're all fucking ugly right now. And that's the problem, right? So using platforms like this gives, designers this edge that they can now take their shit digitally and start changing what the web can be. It's like a whole new frontier for us.
Yeah.
I would like to see, okay, my Instagram, and again, I follow a lot of graphic designers and maybe it's my fault. Okay. Maybe it's the algorithm that I fucked up. But all I see is logos, brand identity, logos,
Yeah,
brand
you're
love
right.
them.
Yeah,
Love them.
and it's great,
Most talented
but
people,
no
and
layout.
I love them. No layout.
Yeah,
And
you're
when
right.
I do see a poster layout that I love,
Yeah,
I
you're
follow
like,
them.
wow.
I'm tagging
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
I'm in there.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing enough
It's
of
true.
that.
Yeah.
And this is the worry. So we have the ability now, okay, with platforms like this Wix Studio to actually get in there and start exploring with layouts limitless.
Yeah.
Like without limits.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing about this kind of stuff. So, the technology is there. So now it's just a matter of changing our apprehensions, okay? Changing designers' apprehensions. So you know what? I got three steps on how a designer can do this. Okay? So again, I get it. And, maybe we have some damaged baggage from the past that's holding us from exploring this again. Okay. And we say, oh, I don't want to do this. It's too intimidating. Fine. These 3 steps will allow you to be able to do this, to offer this at a level that is comfortable for you. Nice. So number 1, super easy. Start with a personal project. Ooh. Okay. Make it your portfolio. Maybe, make it your side website. Yeah. Okay. To kind of see if you can actually get it.
Yeah.
Don't commit anything big, right? Yeah. Just something small, comfortable to get into it. Yeah. Okay. Get yourself comfortable with the tools and then figure out how your design offline translates to this online, first and foremost. Nice. Okay. Step 2. Okay. Then once you're a little comfortable after a couple of weeks, add web design as a service. Okay, something you offer, but, right? Don't overcommit to it.
Right.
And that's the key thing here, okay? You don't want to start small.
Yeah.
Okay? Start peppering out. Hey, I could do a landing page for you. Yeah. I could do a simple page for you here. I can do something that after an hour or two, you can build and be like, oh, that was actually pretty fucking easy.
Pretty
okay.
Good, yeah.
Do that, right? You don't want to overwhelm yourself, okay? But you want to be able to
50-page sites, what you're saying?
No, and they're not even fun or profitable for the record. But I mean, what you want to do is you want to ease yourself into this process and into this technology, okay? And that's key because that'll stop you from getting overwhelmed because of course there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. It's something new, but this platform is pretty kick-ass. I can't speak for the other ones, but this one makes it so fucking easy, okay? But the idea here is not to overwhelm yourself, and give your customers that extra little bit of what they're looking for, right? An extra value into that relationship, okay? Yeah. And then step 3, once you've done that whole number 2 thing, and you've done 1 or 2 landing pages or a little microsite or something, okay? Even like a 3-page microsite, okay, would be fine, right? Yeah. Once you've done that, focus only on what you know, which is brand-driven websites. That's it. You are a brand expert. This is where you shine, okay? You help develop their look. You help develop their messaging, okay? You're coming out with layouts in every other aspect of their business, okay? So now is your time to take that and put it online because that's where you fucking rock. And again, clients want brand consistency across the board. Yeah. They want it online. They want it, offline. Like this is what they want. They're asking you for this. Yeah. So don't overcommit. Don't offer to build something giant. Yeah. You can build an e-commerce site on this.
You will learn,
right?
Yeah.
You absolutely can.
There's connections to apps for that kind of thing.
You can do all even
kinds
payments.
of stuff.
Yeah,
payments.
But but you don't even have to go that far. Okay. Focus on what you know for now, which is just the brand side of everything. You could fucking do that. Anybody can do that, right? Because now what's happening is you now own the whole process for the customer, and that's key. That's what customers want. Is they want somebody to own it all. And they want to, and again, people, trust me, customers, that's not scary to them. That's a relief to them.
They love that. Yes.
They do. It's, and you've landed a customer potentially for life, unless you really fuck it up, and again, you've got all their design work, you've got their web work, and it just cements that relationship. Okay. Nobody's going to come in there. Okay. And take that away from you. So this is key. So 3 easy steps, start with something small, something for yourself. Number 2, add it, but don't overcommit to anything too huge, minor, small projects. And then number 3, build out what you know, which is just brand identity websites. Start off small. And then again, let that happen. And then if you want in the future to grow that, offer it as an agency, we did. And that was the biggest game changer in our space because we weren't designing one-off projects. We went in there, and after we did their brand identity, we did all their digital. We owned the whole portfolio for the company. And we had to do it. And I know some people are apprehensive about it, but again, it doesn't take much to get into it, right? Getting a platform like this now, like our partners like Wix Studio, this is a game changer.
Yeah.
Okay. So this changes it. So, what you guys need to remember, okay, is that you don't let old barriers, okay, stop you from exploring new frontiers, because that is what our future is. Yeah. Okay. And as designers, we have to keep adapting to new trends, adapting to techniques, softwares, and technology. Yeah. And if you don't jump on this, if you guys don't jump on this shit, somebody else is totally going to take it away. They will take it away.
Absolutely.
And you will see your future just kind of dwindle away.
Yep.
Right. I'm still, this isn't a niching, message. This isn't, you've got to, but I've always said, if you stick to just one tiny little thing, there's a really good chance someone's going to be coming after you one day, right? Whether it's technology, whether it's another designer, I don't know. Yep. So I tend to like to own the whole project. Yeah. Personally, I'm greedy that way.
But this also is kind of fun to mess around with too, right?
Absolutely.
Like this is kind of one of those little elements of designers that it's very intriguing. It's a learning experience. It's something new. And plus, it's like you said, for us old dogs, it's good to get back into the layout game. You know what I mean?
Speak for yourself. but you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, layout, I love layout.
And it's coming back. And hopefully we'll see interesting websites now.
Oh my God, right? Again, what we're doing is we're fucking giving tools to graphic designers so they can take UX back from those fucking UX guys. Let's just face it, UXers took that from graphic designers because they wanted to embark on this new frontier back then. Right. And what happened? They got paid twice as much as designers. Everybody was like bowing. Oh, the UX designers here, everybody. Take it back because it was rightfully ours.
That's right.
That whole web process was rightfully ours. Yes. Designers need to take that shit back.
I love it.
Oh, God. I don't mind UXers anymore. We do a lot of it. But this is still the home for graphic designers.
That's right.
Well, because again, this web is a component of graphic design. I don't care what anybody says.
It is. It absolutely is.
You can't say that it's like a car designer is the same as a car mechanic, right? Because they're not, right? Yes. They're very different, and they both have equal importance. Or this is such an integral part of a brand. Yeah. That it's ridiculous that it is taken away from us. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if all of a sudden somebody's like, okay, Sean, you can build logos, but you can't do business cards anymore. The business card, the printer is now going to do it. He owns that. The
BX designer. That would be terrible. Yeah. And
it's kind of not really. Everybody hates business card design, but still, you get where I'm going with this.
Yeah, totally.
But it's true, right? Yes. Imagine, because again, printers tried taking graphic design work. Yep. Right? They did. Yeah, and they did. We were able to stop that from happening, right?
Yeah, but they weren't very good.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Well, and programmers weren't very good for websites. Exactly. So that's why this is a component of graphic design. And I don't care if you guys agree with me or not, but it is coming back. Mm-hmm. And, platforms like this is going to make that happen. Yeah. And again, you don't have to jump on this shit, but other designers will. Mm-hmm. And other designers already are. Okay? Yeah. Honestly, if you see some of the inspiration sites that are on Wix Studio, dude, it is... it looks so fun and exciting, let alone the animation, the parallax, everything else that is rolling. It's insane.
It's cool. Yeah. It's really good.
For you guys, who are looking for the future and what your next move is, you guys need to embrace this. If you want to learn a web process on how to sell this to customers, we've got episodes on how to, the process of building a website, and not strategizing, planning, right? Yes. Not the build portion, because again, we're not coders. Nope. We just hire them. Yes. And they're very expensive. Yes. And not that this, will replace all of them for every reason, but let me tell you, it'll replace a hell of a lot of them, right? For this kind of stuff. I mean, the freedom that this can now allow, a freelancer, a small agency, like it's just small teams. It's incredible.
It's crazy.
So this is the future, and this is where you guys have to jump on, because if you won't, somebody else will.
That's right.
Plain and simple.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, dude, it's been a very long day.
It has been a long day.
It's been a long, long day. And you are leaving soon.
And I'm going, yes.
To go to the other side of the world.
That's right.
Sean's leaving for a couple weeks.
That's right. Yeah.
Jeez, I don't even know what that's like. I need a vacation.
You do.
I do. I really do. I just don't know what I would do if I have one.
Oh.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yes, you've earned it, my friend.
And you're not even going to go to Florida this year.
I'm not
Obviously
even going
not,
to Florida
because
because of all the damage down there and how that looks.
That's awful.
I just don't want to be going down there doing an event down there while that's happening. That's okay. You know what? Christmas is ahead. I can look forward to that. Get a week off there.
Oh boy, yeah. That's a long way. That's a long stretch still.
Long stretch, right? I'll figure something out. All right, everybody. Listen, I hope you guys got some out of this. Please, I hope this one didn't sound too preachy, but this is something I so strongly believe in. And now with a platform like this, like Wix Studio, you guys got to check this out. There's a partner of ours now.
Yeah.
And it's a game changer.
It is.
For
It
designers.
really is. Yeah,
and
right.
I encourage you to check this out for yourselves and just go look at the inspiration, because
Just that is worth the.
if you see what layout is looking like right now and the flexibility that we now have, this can change, because honestly, the web's a boring place right now, and I need some excitement on that.
Yes.
So, give it a look, give it a check, open up your eyes to a whole new future of web. And honestly, I know it'll pay you back.
Big time.
Absolutely.
Big time. Yes.
All right, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
My name's Massimo.
My name is Sean.
Stay creative.
And stay angry. Peace.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.